Here's what I know, that there's no tougher job than being a mom. And when I think about what Michelle's had to do, when I think about my own mom, a single mother raising me and my sister, that's work. So anybody who would argue otherwise, I think, probably needs to rethink their statement.
Welcome back to the Ed Show. That was President Obama earlier reacting to the controversial remarks made by Democratic strategist Hillary Rosen. I am joined tonight by Congresswoman Maxine Waters of California and Terry O'Neill, president of the National Organization for Women. Great to have both of you with us. You know, the Republicans are playing this now as the Democrats are anti-family and the Democrats are not family-friendly. Congresswoman, your response to this, is this going to be over after tonight, or is this conversation going to continue?
Well, the debate about women is going to continue. It is an issue in this campaign. The Republicans and Mitt Romney have shown that they don't care about women's issues. They didn't try to do anything to make sure that women were protected in this Ryan budget, and then they scared us to death because they talked about not caring whether or not we had contraception. Do you realize that contraception has changed the lives of women? It has given us choices. We can choose to have children or not have them, have as many as we want, and that gives us the opportunity to stay home, to work. And when they brought this issue up, many of us thought we'd never have to revisit an issue like this again, that those of us who fought in the women's movement had gotten this country way past that. No, this is a debate that's going to be ongoing in this campaign because women now understand that we're being threatened, that all of a sudden we're being put in a position where we're going to have things taken away from us that we thought we had gained. And so, no, the debate shall go on. There is a war on women.
And, well, that's what the vice president said. We'll get to that in a moment as well. Terry O'Neill, there is some blog traffic out there supporting Hillary Rosen's comments, saying that what she really meant was that these are financial issues and that Ann Romney just hasn't been out there having to be a breadwinner and for her family. Do you think that there's a real division here in the public's eyes on this?
No, I think it's really manufactured by the political spinmeisters, frankly, on the Romney side. Look, what would we be saying if Hillary Clinton had said this, that Ann Romney has not worked for pay outside the home a day in her life? That's, and I understand that that's an accurate statement, and that raises the exact issue that Hillary Rosen was trying to get to, which is, do Mr. and Mrs. Romney have the kind of life experience, and if not, imagination, to really understand what most American families are going through right now? I think that was what Hillary was getting at, yeah. and so she left out the words "for pay outside the home." I'll tell you, my mom was an at-home mother all her life, and she used to say about herself, "I don't work." It's not accurate. She was one of the hardest working women I've ever met.
Well,
but that's what she said.
I think the president was outstanding in his interview tonight. I mean, the President Obama could not have handled it in a more respectful and serious manner. And earlier we heard from the vice president. He believes that there is a Republican war on women. Here it is.
I think the war on women is real. And look, I tell you, it's going to intensify. The next president of the United States is going to get to name one and possibly two or more members of the Supreme Court.
Maxine Waters, the Romney campaign and the RNC are already raising money off of this. So I think the vice president was correct when he said the war on women is going to intensify. How much more intense can it get, especially with the fact that the Republicans are losing big time in the polls on this issue?
You're absolutely right. You can see that gender gap, and it's growing. And it's not going to stop because, again, a lot of the younger women in our society never thought they'd have to deal with some of these issues. They thought that the women's movement some years ago had equaled the playing field, and then we see that it has not been equal. It has not been talked about. The president understood it, and one of the first things that President Obama did was to make sure that he passed the Ledbetter legislation, legislation to equalize the pay for women. So he came into office understanding that still work had to be done. And so, as the president has shown that he not only supports women, he supports equality, the Republicans have now raised this issue in this campaign in ways that young women now understand, oh my goodness, we're at risk. We have taken 2 steps forward, and this administration under Mitt Romney would take us backwards.
Well, Terry O'Neill, the Ledbetter Law, which was signed, it was the first piece of legislation that the president signed, was really so far behind the times we were just catching up. And in a conference call, the Romney team didn't even acknowledge that they knew what it was. Doesn't that speak volumes about how far behind they are?
Oh, it absolutely does. They evidently didn't know what it was. How can he claim that he cares about women's economic security or economic well-being when he doesn't even know what the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act? And let's be clear, the Lilly Ledbetter Act only brought us back to square one. It was a legislative fix after the Supreme Court misinterpreted Title VII. So that just brought us back to where we had been before. What we really need to do is pass the Paycheck Fairness Act. And I would love to hear Mitt Romney explain whether he supports that, and if not, why not?
That is an answer he should give, no doubt. Congresswoman Maxine Waters and Terry O'Neill, thanks for your time tonight here on The Ed Show. We appreciate it.